We know you. All right, looks like there's quite a few people here. I think we'll just start in. My name's Andy Logan. If you've watched our videos on our Kickstarter campaign, you've probably seen me already. And it's been quite a journey, which started in the summer of 2018 to get to this point today where we've got our first pre-production sample from the manufacturer Longpack, who's in China. And so we're super excited. We got this just a few days ago and we've been going through it, looking at all the details, making minor adjustments. So I'd say this game they sent is about 95% of the way there. And it's just those last little few percentages we're dialing in over the next week and then letting them know what needs to change. But pretty much everything is very close to what we want in the game. And we think you'll be excited. We're excited. And that vision I originally had over 3 years ago, is definitely being realized in this box here. So super proud to show it to you tonight. I'd say once we've got this pre-production version commented on with the manufacturer, then they will start their full production run, which takes about 2 to 2.5 months. And then it's about a month for shipping across the oceans. So that puts it kind of early next year time frame to get into your hands. My lovely wife / community outreach manager, Heather, is sitting over here manning the computer. So she is able to respond to any questions you have. And I can, let me go through the walkthrough first, and then at the end, if you'd like to type in any questions that are more technical, I can answer, do some Q&A with you at the end of this. So we will go over questions more at the end. But certainly if you have anything quick and easy, Heather is available on comms to answer any questions in the Facebook feed. So welcome everyone. We're going to be talking about today the Shivers Core Game. As you can see here, it says Core Game First Edition. Next week, we're going to go over the Shivers Deluxe game, which is right here, and has a few more goodies and extras and add-ons. And most of you pledged at this tier, but almost everything you need to play the game is in this core game. So this will give you a good overview of what you're going to be expecting. Hello from Australia, wow. All right, so the core game has some extra goodies. The deluxe game, the core game here, this is the game box you'll be getting. It's the same size as the deluxe game, but it's a 12-inch by 12-inch by 3-inch box. So pretty standard game. It's all mirror image too. I wonder how we do flipping with the mirror image thing. This being one of our first live feeds, we're still working out the kinks, but thanks for letting us know that it's mirror image flipped. Heather, do you know that? Is there a button that flips it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, we will research that for our next feed and be prepared to flip things. So if you can stomach a reversed feed right now, imagine this Shivers logo is the right way and it says the Shivers. The box printing right now is a little lighter than we want. The artwork is getting a little lightened. We think it's because it's got a very matte finish on it. We're going to go for more of a semi-matte, which I think will darken the blacks a bit on the front and make the front artwork a little more saturated and intense. So here we have the Shivers logo on the side vertically, and we have this Victorian wallpaper theme throughout that's really cool. You'll see on the box sides. And then we also have the Shivers, for those of you who like to orient your games on your shelf vertically, we have it oriented this way as well on the side. On the back, we're going to shoot new photography of the prototype and replace this back image. But it's got all the things you need, ages and durations and all the contents and barcodes and really pretty standard stuff on the back side. But I like that it says, "Welcome to the spooky world of the Shivers." So it's going to be a nice intro for those of you who aren't familiar. All right, let's open the box. Now the pop-up rooms are located kind of down inside, and I've actually taken them out. Oh, but I see some flipping thing here. Commentary. Bottom right corner, you'll find a screwdriver and a span on the settings. Okay, good to know for the future. So here, we're opening the box, and the first thing you'll see is a little sheet that says, "Thank you for playing the Shivers, RSVP for frightening fun. We're inviting you to join our Adventurers Club on our website at theshiversgame.com. We're building a whole website. It's going to be a great community portal. It's going to have videos for how to be an amazing storyteller and how to get the most out of your game and setting the mood. And we'll also be using if you join our Adventurers Club, we're going to send all kinds of goodies and promos and things that will be really interesting. And there's even a coupon code back here if you'd like to buy anything off our website. So, important little sheet to have. The next thing that's right front and center is this quick start tutorial guide. This is going to be your kind of one-time use tutorial episode manual that'll teach you how to play the Shivers if you're a player, how to run the Shivers if you're a storyteller, and it folds open. So inside you have some story cards that we'll talk about later. But it folds open like this and tells you everything you need to know about how to set up the game space, what the episode guides mean, what words to read when, what the storyteller's job is. And then you flip it over, and there's a step-by-step tutorial that shows along the top. You see each step here. Open the little door, take the key, write down key on your dashboard, go into the next room. It's very leading you through a very sequential, simple tutorial episode. And some of you may have played this one already at PAX or elsewhere, which is Flight of the Bumblebee. So it's just a good learning episode to tackle. And then once you're a storytelling pro, you can pretty much put this quick start guide away. And it does come with story cards for the parlor, the study, and the laboratory. And these will be inserted into those rooms just for the tutorial. All right, Heather, my IT expert, is doing some... what are you doing, Heather?
Sorry,
are you flipping the...
Are you flipping?
It. Okay. For those of you who just joined, apparently we're still learning how to flip the image. So Heather's seeing if she can do that as we start. So these are the story cards that will slide down inside. And like all story cards, there's clues on this side that slot into the pop-up rooms. And on the back side, there's text descriptions that tell you, as a storyteller, what goes where. And the bigger rooms, the bigger cards are for the parlor, of course, which is a bigger room. And the smaller cards are for all the other rooms, which are the smaller size room. So our parlor is twice as wide as a normal size room. And that was really dictated by the fact that we want people to be able to eventually print their own adventures and print their own downloadable episodes. So this largest story card is formatted to fit on a standard printer. So you can print it at home if you want. All right, so we talked about the tutorial and the quick start guide and the tutorial cards. I'll put those aside. And now we've got some other items in the box. We've got a complete instruction manual. You can see here it's got this neat leather-bound look, like it's sitting on the shelf at the library. And when you open it, you'll see all the characters in the Shivers that you can play, which are 6 humans and a dog and a cat if you got the deluxe version. They come with that version. And here we have the table of contents, so I'll just read that through. The introduction, setting up the game, getting the players started, the Shivers characters, basic gameplay, dice rolls, steps and hints, ending the game, death and failure, and the game credits. All the wonderful people who helped make this game a reality are listed back here in these sections. So couldn't have done it without this team. That's the instructions. You'll probably read through this after the tutorial, maybe read it once, and you might not need it again. Another manual is the Storyteller's Companion. Now this one is something you'll consult often, and it should be something that is next to you as a storyteller to consult during your adventures. So it's also this kind of leather-bound effect in purple. And here you have a nice little dedication to my daughters, who this game was for. You'll also see QR codes here in the book that can link you right to our video section or to our website. Let me read some of the table of contents here. We have setting the mood, improvisation, helping players, dice roll charts, magical items chart, complications chart, common items, and a random items chart. So there's a lot of charts in here. Let me talk about some of those briefly. Here's a list of all the magical items you might find in the episodes and what their powers are. For example, we have the Amulet of Whiskers, which allows the wearer to control the will and body of any non-human creature. The next chart is something interesting. It's called Complications. And you'll know these by this little exclamation point in the episode guide. When you come across that little icon, you can insert one of these complications as a storyteller, which is a little side, bit of side story, side drama that happens during the episode. So what we have here is we have 10 different complications, but I know we'll be coming up with more as this game evolves. And it tells you what happens to the players. Is it a trapdoor? Do they fall through it? What happens to their possessions? How to resolve it? That's all here in this complications. And we've also got some other useful charts in there that you'll love to see. So that's our Storyteller's Companion. Next up, you'll see one of these stretch goals that was unlocked, the History of Fogmoor lore booklet. And if you look inside the study pop-up room, right on the bookshelf, you'll see a teeny tiny version of this book sitting there, exactly like this. So if a player wants to read that book, you can just give them the History of Fogmoor lore booklet. So what we have here is a full map of the town of Fogmoor Cove with all the important places listed by our great artist Bill Tiller. For those of you who bought our Storycrafters add-on pack just a few months ago, this is a poster version that's included in that, much larger. We also have some neat illustrations of the house getting built. There's newspaper clippings pertaining to it. There's the family tree of the family that built the house, the Von Drakens. And most important to me, a tribute to all of our backers who wanted their names included. We have 5,000 or 6,000 different names in very teeny tiny print on like 10 different pages of this manual, alphabetized, just the way you inserted your name in the survey, how you'd like it to be shown. So we have thousands of names in here as tributes. We call you the, you are now the official residents of Fogmoor Cove. So you're members of the town community now. All right, so that was the lore booklet. We have some other items here. There's going to be 3 game dice included in your game. They're colored, green, red, and blue. The colors on these are a little lighter than we'd like. We'd like to get a little more saturated color, so we're working with the manufacturer on that. For very easy decisions, things that are simple actions, the green dice will be your friend. It works, it doesn't work, it kind of works, it backfires, but it's weighted towards positive events. And then the blue dice is more your neutral dice you'll use most often. It has a kind of balance of negative and positive outcomes. And then the red dice is the trouble dice. This one is very weighted towards negative outcomes. There's a lot of backfires and only one it works. So very chancy dice here. We also, in the core game, you get a magnifying glass, which is actually, even though it's small, it's pretty nice. It's got a glass lens and is extremely clear, as you'll need this to look at all the tiny details and clues that are in the Shivers. So keep this handy. There's also a pack of these available for sale as an add-on. And you'll also have a dry erase marker with little eraser. So this is useful for if you have your character dashboard here. Here's our player Autumn Lark. And there's a whole section here for writing down inventory. So you could, when Autumn picks up a key, you could write, you know, I have the small key there. Or if you hear, let's say, a note sequence, someone played on the piano. Oh, you played A, C, D, F, A, C, D, F. I'm gonna write that down as a note. So this becomes your inventory / notepad. And when you need to make room, you just use the dry erase marker tip to erase it away. So this is your character dashboard. It's got the character's picture, a verbal description. It's got their strengths and their fears. And it's got a nice finish here that allows the dry erase marker to erase cleanly. On the back side, these are all the rules for someone who needs to play the Shivers, if they want to just not be the storyteller, but play the game. You just read these rules. It's just a couple of short paragraphs, and you are ready to go. You're now ready to play the game. There's no manual to go through or pages and pages of rules. People can literally start playing the Shivers cold after walking up to it, as some of you may have seen at our demos at PAX. You can play it within 1 minute, and you're up and running on the rules. So it's extremely easy. So there's 6 of these in the room. We have Autumn Lark, we have Fiona. I'm sorry, Fiona was her old name. Frankie Shivers, she's the youngest Shivers member. We have Rashida Shivers. We've got Riley Shivers, the dead. We have Brighton Shivers. And we have a neighbor, Elijah Delgado. So Elijah is a neighbor, and Autumn Lark is also a neighbor. And we think with these 6 characters, you'll be having a lot of fun playing their different personalities. So these are called the character dashboards, and it comes with 6 of those. Next thing you'll see is we have standees for all the little standees, just plastic bases. They're black. There'll be 12 of them. And then we have the, let me lift that out, Shivers character board themselves. So this is the standee board that has the Shivers characters on it. And some are already punched out. So Brighton is now punched out. And Riley's punched out. And you can see all the other characters there. We have a steps arrow here to help you keep track of what step you're on. Kickstands that hold the pop-up rooms open. There's a mysterious girl named Amelia you'll meet in the story. And there's something very special right here. Little tiny versions of all the characters, because you may not always be at the same scale during the Shivers. So you might find yourself shrunken down. So those are the standee boards. We also have, for the characters, we also have NPC standee boards. So this is for Series A. All the different kind of creatures you'll encounter, and friends and foes. And occasionally we have inanimate objects, like here's a bundle of balloons tied to a rock. Here's a chicken. In other ones we have like a coat stand or some artwork. So it's not always a creature or a character, but almost always it is. So these are very cool artworks from Bill Tiller and some of our other illustrators. So Series A is here, which comes with the game. Series A has 4 episodes to play. Series B NPC board, standee board is here. This has another 4 episodes, so the core game has 8 episodes to play. That's Series B and Series A and Series B. And if you bought the deluxe game, it comes with twice the episodes. It has Series C and D on it as expansions as well. And again, we'll do a unboxing of the deluxe game back here next week. Is it easy for anyone to be in the storyteller? I'm going to try to answer your questions at the end, but we recommend the storyteller should be about 14, able to read well and kind of improvise well. I think that's a good age. But players, we've certainly played with players younger than that. Our own daughters are a lot younger. And adults who are a lot older. So here's the, let me show you the Series A items. So each series has 4 episodes, and each of the episodes has 4 episode guides. So episode 1 always has this green flag on it, and this one is called The Lost Kitten. Written by me. The next episode is always blue. Oops, I'm sorry. Magenta here. And this is Dad is Missing. Also written by me. The next one, episode 3, is The Ghost Bride. And the 4th last one in the A series is The Witch's Brew. And these episode guides are really helpful. So it tells the storyteller exactly how to run it. These will be unfolded as a 4-panel spread, and it'll always be in front of the storyteller when they're running the episode. It tells them what rooms they need to bring out, what NPC standees to punch, a summary of the whole series, an overview of that whole episode in steps, what steps are going to happen, an introduction to read to the players. And then you flip it over. This is more as you're running the episode. It's got a section for describing the NPC characters you may encounter. It's got a whole middle section for notes and books and dialogue and events that happen here. And it's got a whole endgame section here about how to conclude the episode. And then along the bottom, you'll see there's this timeline where we have between 10 and 15 steps to complete the whole adventure that the players will go through. And each step has 2 different corresponding hints associated with it. So there's a subtle hint and then a more direct hint to nudge people to the next step. So it's a really powerful system we've developed. It's been tested a lot. Originally we didn't have the steps timeline, we didn't have hints, but the more we tested and the more we built a more robust system, the more we added to make it an easier, streamlined event for the players. So Series A, core game, comes with 4 episode guides, and then all the story cards you need to run those 4 episodes. And then it also comes with a whole duplicate set for Series B. These were written by Larry Ahern, a great writer who's worked for LucasArts and Disney. And so we have 4 new episode guides for Series B, and then all the story cards for the Series B episodes. Look at this chompy mouth here. I wonder what's going to happen there. Some really cool stuff on Series B. So I always try to bring in new writers, new thoughts, so each episode feels very different, and they don't play the same or the same mechanics or the same basic narrative each time. I'm always looking for new writers to help show what the Shivers system can do and make each episode as different as possible. So now to the best part. We've gone through kind of everything else besides the pop-up rooms. Here's the pop-up rooms themselves. So I've actually unfolded them first just to make it easier on myself. Look at this. Here's the parlor. It is stunning. This is 11 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall and 5.5 deep. And I've put a story card in there for episode 1, Lost Kitten. So you're seeing some Lost Kitten details here. But it's just complete, beautiful, handmade work of art that you'll get to play. Most episodes start out in the parlor, so this will be frequently encountered. Each room does have little doors to open. I'm going to open one of these little cabinets. So you can see you open the cabinet and there's the banana with something stuck in it, a wand. Look at that, there's a wand. Why is that there? I don't know. A piano, a grandfather clock that opens. The piano opens. So that's the parlor. And then on the back side, here's what the storyteller is going to see. They see what to read to the players. You've entered the parlor. There's a lot of dust on everything. Here's a little notch that tells you what episode you're playing. So it's got the green stripe. If all your rooms are set to a green stripe, you know you're playing the right episode altogether. Here's all the clues. It tells you, what's in the west cabinet, what's in the east cabinet. What if I play the piano? What if I, do it? This is all the clue window. Everything you need to run that room is in there. And then there's even a map. So the map tells you how to arrange the rooms for the episode. And so all that lifts out. And for the next episode, now you're setting it up for episode A2, which is Dad is Missing. So now it all changes. All those things change. The title changed over here. And, oh, instead of a cat there, now there's a chicken in the main portrait there in the middle. What's that all about? So all the details change inside the room. That's the parlor. And you'll see these little blue dots. You might be wondering, why are there these little blue dots in the corners? So there's magnets on each room, and they magnet together on the layout. So I'm going to bring out the study. Here's the study. It's going to click, right lock onto, this is a new test for me. Oh, it holds. It'll lock right onto the parlor. So I've been trying to make sure the polarity of each magnet is set properly. So those are those blue dots. I've marked north and south on each magnet to ensure, just for this quality control, that everything is good, but you won't have these little blue dots on your rooms, of course. So great table presence for those wishing to really show off a beautiful game. Next room, the study. This is the little library. A little armchair there with a lamp. And one of the amazing things about Bill Tiller's artwork and Renee Jablow, our paper engineer, coming together is Bill knows exactly how to wash lighting across surfaces. So this lamp looks like it's actually glowing because he has glow washing over all the surfaces and casting shadows where they would be. And then Renee tiles it all out in the right layout for him, so he knows where to put what lighting details. So it's really a great team working together. And when you see these, you'll swear that there's lighting happening in them just because of the way he's rendered them. So really beautiful. Lots of little doors to open and things to explore. So that's the study again. In the back we have our clue window. And again, we have our ability to change episodes. This room's used a lot, so it has a lot of different story card settings on it. There, now this is episode 4. We recommend you play them sequentially, so start with A1, A2, A3, A4, then go to B1, B2, B3, B4. So that's our recommendations, that you play them in order. All right, here's the kitchen. Great room. Dominated by a big stove and a big table and a huge pantry. Again, some really cool lighting details happening. And just to show you how these kickstands work, so these kickstands are on the standee board, and the pop-up rooms come flat. So the whole game folds totally flat. You could put this in your pocket and walk around with it. It's that flat. So you'll open up the kitchen, see that pop-up action, which everyone loves, of course. Pop, there goes the table. You just put your kickstand in this notch on the side and you are ready to go. So we spent a lot of time and effort on the kickstand, thinking of ways to do it, ways to attach it, and the best solution we found is a detachable kickstand like that can be removed or added or replaced separate from the room. All right, next room is the basement. Again, these are all the rooms that come with the core game, 6 rooms total. This is down in the dark, dingy basement. There's a large wooden crate here in the middle. There's a stove with all these pipes on the back wall. And look at these pipes have valves on them, and each valve has a label. That might come in handy later on. There's a creepy gate here. I wonder what's in this gate. What could be in the gate? Uh-oh. Skeletons. So, here's the basement. Here's the backside. And when a skeleton does pop out, you'll actually take the standee of the skeleton and put it in the room. And with your players, it'll interact with the players or attack them. So it's very fluid and interesting interplay between the artwork and the standees as well. They're really a part of it. Here's the laboratory, the loathsome laboratory. So you see this big tank that's used a lot in the game for many different things. It's called the Acme tank, and it kind of does different things in each episode. It makes things bigger or smaller, or transforms them, or teleports them, or hides them. so it's always doing something nefarious. So here are these power cables that plug in the tank. And potions on the wall, and a weird big table here that certain characters might find themselves strapped to during certain experiments. And then the last room is the courtyard. So this is our only room that's outside. It's nighttime, obviously, and there's a big mausoleum with a big oak tree branch coming over it. There's a moon up in the sky, there's gravestones, there's a fountain and a Grim Reaper statue, and this is another great one. So if we look down in this mausoleum and open it up, we see there's a passageway inside leading to another smaller room. So that becomes a passageway to a different room. Here we have a ghost bride looking down from the high window, and you see how that changes for the next episode. Now she's gone. Okay, so those are all the pop-up rooms. Those are really the most amazing part of the Shivers, but we've put a lot of detail into all the elements, from the instructions to the stories themselves, to the standees, to the box art. We're trying to make this as easy to get into for new players and as rich and kind of engrossing for veteran players that they can keep with it, keep doing the games, doing the expansions, and build the world of the Shivers into new episodes and new adventures. So we think this is just the starting point. With the core game, you'll be able to access the full world, and you're off on an adventure from there. So thank you for watching this unboxing. We can do some questions now if anyone